So, should the Leafs be worried?
Well, they just got passed by a team that didn't even exist last year. You tell me. And then, yeah, please do.
What a great goal!
Dude, crazy throwing waffles. Who are you?
Optimus Prime.
I'm stealing Haka's jersey. He usually wears this one, but anything to break the Leafs out of their current slump. Leafs lose 2-1 to the San Jose Sharks. And anyone who was expecting a full-blown rant in this one, I'm sorry to disappoint. Leafs just lost this one. In terms of James Reimer, he probably wants that first one back. It was also kind of a wild shot. Second goal was a tip, and Jake Gardner's shot was tipped, so there's two goals that kind of cancel each other out. Leafs had a garbage first period with only 5 shots, and Antti Niemi making 16 saves in the third period, some of them huge, and that was the difference. But some things I'm sure you'd rather talk about because Twitter has just been going crazy since the Jeff Carter trade. Let's talk about some of the possible deals. Because the Leafs are officially out of the Jeff Carter sweepstakes. I wasn't really crazy about them being in it in the first place, if they even were, but he's now an LA King. Here's what worries me. The Jets, although it may be temporary, hold the top spot in the Southeast Division, so they're third in the Eastern Conference with 67 points. The Panthers are in 8th with 66, and the Leafs are in 9th with 65. Here's why that stat's kind of messed up. The Panthers have played 59 games, the Leafs have played 61, and the Jets 63. So because the games played is all out of whack, you gotta kind of look at points percentage to get a better idea of where teams are. In terms of point percentage, the Panthers are easily the best of those 3 teams, so they would technically lead the Southeast Division. They have a point percentage of .559. 8th spot would go to the, I want you to guess, the Toronto Maple Leafs. But there's 2 big reasons why you should take zero comfort in that. A, the Leafs are only 2 points behind the Panthers and 1 point behind the Jets, which technically makes the playoffs within reach, but they still have to pass them no matter what their point percentage is. And B, the Leafs have the 8th best point percentage in the Eastern Conference at .533. The Jets, .532. You want to talk about close. Here's where that gets even more messed up. What the heck is either team doing at the deadline? The Leafs have an extremely frustrated and rightfully so fan base that hasn't seen the playoffs since May of 2004. Making a move just to limp into the playoffs and then who knows what happens next season doesn't exactly fit into Burke's long-term plans. The Winnipeg Jets also have long-term plans, but in a building, in a city as crazy as Winnipeg is for the Jets right now, with the playoffs being so very close, I bet you they make a move. Their system is, they don't really have a whole lot to offer, but I bet you they make a buying move before the deadline. They do something, maybe they exchange a defenseman for a forward, or I don't know what, but I bet you the Jets will be in a buying mood come the trade deadline. Basically, what I'm trying to say is the Eastern Conference's playoff race is so bad that it's good. And I'll save some of this because I'm planning on making a video about them for CBCSports.ca, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the Jets be buyers at the deadline, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see playoff hockey return to the city of Winnipeg. So where the hell does that leave the Leafs? I don't envy Brian Burke, not one bit. But to me, this is a huge year where if the Leafs don't make the playoffs, they risk genuinely, like, forever losing fans. And a lot of you are laughing right now, but trust me, hear me out, and I need your help, younger viewers, like, I'm talking 13, 14, something like that. Leave a comment in the comment box. I think the Leafs are at risk of losing young fans. Because look at it this way, I only have, like, a handful of memories before I was, like, 6 or 7. The Leafs haven't made the playoffs since 8 years ago. So to have any kind of sort of foggy memory about the Leafs being good, you gotta be like 15 years old. And in that time, we've seen guys like Crosby, Ovechkin, this new era of superstar that kind of dwindled this year. But still, the Penguins are a very young and exciting team, and I can tell you from just what I've seen, there's a ton of Penguins fans in Toronto. Blackhawks also fitting into that category. A young and exciting team. They won the Cup. A lot of Blackhawks fans in Toronto all of a sudden. A ton of people from Vancouver, Montreal, since the Jets have come back. Didn't realize how many people from Winnipeg lived here. Where are the Leaf fans? They still far outnumber anyone in the league. I mean, if you go out west or anywhere, you can see it. But they're really at risk of not being number one at some point. You can call me crazy, but I just want you to think about that. You got to be at least 14 years old, a teenager, to remember the Leafs making the playoffs. So just let that sink in as the Leafs prepare for the Capitals. I'm going to have some coffee and cry a little. And adding Dustin Brown or Steve Ott or getting rid of Grabowski or doing nothing, the Leafs have to find a way to win or they're in trouble. But enough of that depressingness. I've made a whole bunch of trade deadline videos for CBCSports.ca, what the Habs should do, what the Oilers should do, the Leafs, the Canucks heading into the trade deadline. I still obviously have 3 more to make with the Sens, Flames, and Jets. I had to think about it there for a sec, so check those out in the underbar and look for the new ones as they're posted. And of course, last but not least, the SteveDangle.com poll question. Very simple, but I'm expecting a lot of feedback. Will the Toronto Maple Leafs make the 2012 playoffs? It's a simple question.
It's a simple question, Doctor.
Yeah, anyway, SteveDangle.com.